So I was born Laura Jane Addams in 1860 in Cedarville, Illinois. I was the daughter of a wealthy businessman who was a friend of Abraham Lincoln. My mother died when I was 2, and I learned community responsibility for my family. I graduated from Rockford Female Seminary in 1881. I was among the first American women to graduate from college. I was not interested in teaching or missionary work, so I began to study medicine, but left because of poor health. I struggled to find my place in the world, so I traveled to Europe with my friend Ellen Gates Starr, where we visited a settlement house in London and got an idea for doing something in Chicago. I moved into Hull House with Ellen in 1889 in Chicago. Hull House was located in a poor immigrant neighborhood. Eventually, local wealthy women sponsored our activities. By our second year, we were hosting 2,000 people a week. Eventually, we had more than 10 buildings, too. We offered training in art, music, and crafts, sponsored one of the earliest little theater groups. We operated a kindergarten, a coffee house, a branch of the Chicago Public Library. Susan B. Anthony, Clarence Darrow, and Frank Lloyd Wright came to visit at our house. Also part of Hull House was a day nursery, a swimming pool, a dispensary, a community kitchen, and a playground. Many prominent people were interested in reform, lived here, and were part of our community. We even had a camp in Wisconsin. The University of Chicago came to offer extension courses to our neighbors, the first time they went outside their ivory tower. We provided English literacy classes, an employment bureau, and cooperative housing for young working women. Living and working in the neighborhood, I became motivated to improve it. The rats were everywhere. I installed an incinerary for our garbage and was appointed garbage inspector of the 19th Ward for a salary of $1,000. Hull House provided an opportunity for young people to become trained in social work. You could say we were one of the first field placements. I became involved in the founding of the School of Social Work at the University of Chicago. I believe that social science should investigate and advocate. I encouraged our residents and neighbors to go to their elected officials and lobby for improved sanitation, municipal playgrounds, citywide kindergartens, and a juvenile court system. I was active in efforts to abolish child labor, create an 8-hour workday for women, ensure safe working conditions in factories, create workers' compensation, and recognize labor unions. I publicized the work and the many causes I believed in by writing and lecturing, and my autobiography, 20 Years in Hull House, was published in 1910. This is a 1911 edition. I talked about respecting traditions of immigrants while helping them adjust to American life. I was awarded the first honorary degree ever given to a woman by Yale. I became active in the Progressive Party's campaign for Teddy Roosevelt, and at the National Convention, I seconded his nomination for president. I also was involved in the founding of the American Civil Liberties Union and the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. I was the first woman president of the National Conference of Social Workers. I was a pacifist and helped found the Women's International League for Peace and Freedom and served as its president. I opposed World War I, which caused the public to turn against me and the press to attack me. But after some time, public sentiment changed, and in 1931, I was a co-winner of the Nobel Peace Prize. I was the first U.S. woman to win it. Jane Addams' health began to deteriorate and decline following a heart attack, and she died in 1935, and she was buried in Cedarville. Thousands attended her funeral, which was held in the courtyard of Hull House. The Hull Mansion is now part of the University of Illinois at Chicago and has become a museum. Many of the original settlement houses buildings were demolished due to construction in the 1960s, and in 2012, the Hull Association of Chicago closed. Jane Addams was a passionate advocate and fighter for social justice. She bridged differences. She's been called the only saint that America ever produced. And today, she's known as the mother of social work.